and welcome back to Ormsby Farm. So today is January 1st. Happy New Year. And the video is coming out, of course, it'll be Tuesday the 2nd when it comes out. But this is the first video for the 3 Rivers Challenge of not grocery shopping or going out to eat or buying food in January and February. You can only use what you have canned, froze, dehydrated, vacuum sealed, so on, so forth, stocked up, all of it. And we're gonna show you today, because what I'm going to do is each week I'm gonna show you the dinner that we did on the video, or on the video that will come out the week after. But this week, it's only January 1st, so we've only done one meal. I did do New Year's Eve. But what I'm gonna show you is how I organize the meals, and we're gonna go take inventory of both of my pantries, all 4 of my freezers, and we're gonna kind of go over how I plan out a meal for a week, just using what we have and getting creative. So let's jump into that intro.
I'm coming home.
Alrighty, y'all. So we are in the pantry, as you can see it right now. I'm trying to get my tripod together. I don't even know if it's probably not tall enough. Oh no, of course not. So this is the first place that I take stock, and this is all of our homegrown, home canned items. Now I have 2 pantries. And both pantries serve their purpose. My bulk shopping is in the other pantry, which we'll go to next. And this again is all of our homegrown, home canned fruits, veggies, soups, all of that kind of stuff. Can you all see the soup? No, they're all the soups. I do have potatoes in here. I do have onions, dried beans, flour, sugar, all of that bulk is in here. But basically what I did, and now we did this off camera, if I can find my list, is we went down and documented everything that was in the pantry. Now this pantry is 2 pages. Write it down, the pints. That way when I'm creating the menu for the week, I can kind of look and see what we have a lot of. Like one thing that we do not have a lot of, that we actually ran out of, let's see, I did it in August, so September, October, November, December, 4 months we ran out of, was salsa. As you see, there's a big old empty space right there, which is where salsa was. We love salsa. But I canned quart diced tomatoes, because that, for my recipe of salsa, that is the batch of tomatoes that I use for a batch. And it makes about maybe 4 pints, but we don't do it in pints. We do it in jelly jars, the salsas, and it makes about 8 of those. So salsa we ran out of, but we have a ton. Let's see if I can tilt you up so you can see that god-awful light. Is broths and tomato sauces. So when I am planning out the menu, I'm looking and I'm like, okay, I have a ton of tomato sauce. What can I make that includes tomato sauce? And I can tomato sauce, not pasta sauce, not any of that, for that reason. So I can turn it into what I need for the dinners. So that's one thing that we had a lot of is tomato sauce. Potatoes are another one. Let me see if I can pop you right up there. But those are so easy, especially just as a side. I drain the water out, I throw them in the air fryer. We do about 15 minutes at 400, and they are crispy roast potatoes, and they are so good. So we had a lot of those. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, I did, it's funny that we're doing the 3 Rivers Homestead 3 Rivers Challenge, because Jessica over at 3 Rivers gave this recipe of an apple barbecue sauce. There they are right there. And I have a ton of those, and they are so good. They are so good. If you followed us this year, we were blessed with about 75 pounds of apples. So we were able to do a lot of stuff with it. But one thing that I'm also looking when I am inventorying our cans is I'm going to look at the dates on the top. And if it's 21, I'm thinking, why haven't we used that? Is it because we're not really fans of it or what it is? And I'm noting that in my head for next year. One big thing that we just don't go through a lot, and it's not that they're old, because these are pear pie fillings. I canned in October of 22. And we just don't go through that many pies. And I have about 9 sitting here. And these are our apple. This is the apple, and the other ones is the pear. We just don't go through that many. So I probably will not do that going forward. I'll let these kind of run out, and then we'll kind of stick to no pie fillings, maybe 1 or 2, maybe. And I'll try to use it. But that's what's so great about this challenge is that you can see with your eyes what you're using a lot of, and you can know how to use it if you use it, and if you haven't, try to work that into your menu. So that's what I'm going to try to do, is try to work at least some apple pie into the next 2 months. We have a lot of backed up potatoes, so we'll be using that. I did a really cool kind of thing that I tested out to see if it was any good, and I made from our potatoes homemade potato skins that I again flash froze in our freezer, put in for appetizers, and they were actually really good. So I will do more of those with that. I do need to probably dice up some French fries, because we do love our French fries, especially when we do like sandwiches or burgers. So it's good to have those. We'll keep it all in here. I got some spaghetti squashes, but now let's go into the bulk shopping pantry, which has kind of like the bulk pastas, crackers, and baking supplies, and all of my gadgets and that kind of stuff. So let's head over there. Alrighty, so in here, again, this is my bulk. So I always have bulk pastas and tuna fish. Condiments and seasonings are a big thing that I do bulk in. This is probably maybe 3 deep of all of the seasonings that we use. And then up top is crackers, because we love us some crackers. In here, I do the same thing. I just document it so I know what to use when I'm creating the menus. Another side of it is all of my Augustin Farm stuff. All of the freeze-dried stuff that I make into meals in a jar are here. Y'all know I love me some milk powder because I use it for cheese, I use it for milk, I use it for creamer, I use it for a ton of stuff. And then all different other seasonings, baking supplies, honey, sweetener, all that kind of stuff. But on the other side of this one is all of my kind of gadgets. Because I try to not just always air fry, even though I love to air fry. We try to use the Instapot a little bit. I try to spice it up a little bit. But let's go ahead and we'll head into the freezers now so that we can see what I got documented in there. Alrighty, y'all. So the first kind of freezer is what I call the meat freezer. I do the same thing as what I do with the canning rooms. I kind of document. So we got chicken, and then chicken goes up into seafoods, which goes up into red meat, which goes into butters and cheeses and pastry stuff that I buy in bulk to have. So that's the big thing here, because this will be the main thing when I'm looking at creating the dinners. I'll look at, okay, meat, and then I'll work everything else around the meat. And we'll talk more about that when I show you the list that I do. But this is the meat freezer. A lot of meat from our dear friend over at Long Pine Cattle Ranch. So excited. A lot of roast. This is going to be roast season. And then some of our friends have brought us some wonderful venison roast as well. So now let's head over to what I'm calling the fruit and dessert freezer. Same way kind of thing for this, y'all, is any breakfast desserts. There's our fruits and our nuts that are stored up. There's a lot more underneath there. But I also do soup, and I freeze it in a gallon Ziploc flat, so it's a lot easier to thaw when we're using it. Again, document it the same way in inventory that we do all the other rooms, just so we know. But this is kind of, right now it's miscellaneous. It's usually is our fruits and nuts and desserts and that kind of stuff. But this is miscellaneous right now. It's a little hot mess-ish. And then our veggie one. Y'all know I love to flash freeze appetizers. I'll be pulling these out and putting them in a Ziploc bag for appetizers. Here are those potato skins that I told you about. We also I make bulk cheese dip, and then I freeze it in the 1 cups, pop it out, same way that I do the broth. But this is our veggie one. So we document it same way as we do everything else, so I know what I need to put with it. We have a ton of bell peppers that are fajita style and a ton of zucchini and squash. So that is going to be the main veggie side throughout the next couple of weeks to fill our meals. So here's that one. And then the final one is what I call the bread. And that's in the office, which will be changing today, y'all. This is not gonna be the office anymore. It's gonna be Mom's bedroom. We're moving rooms around. You'll see that on Thursday's video. And then bread. Y'all know I make about 80% of my breads, probably 90%. So we got loaves, I got homemade tortillas, hoagies, but I do, when they're on sale, buy some. I think we got these for free one time with a coupon. Bagels, all that good stuff, all in there. Hot dog buns, so on and so forth. Whatever we need bread-wise, it's in here. Again, when I'm planning the menus, I pull this stuff out and I make sure that I have breads out for breakfasts and sandwiches for lunch and so on and so forth. So this is our bread freezer, and our bread that I keep in the bags usually is about maybe 4 or 5 months in the freezer before you can start seeing a little bit of freezer burn. It doesn't last that long though. All right, so once I have inventoried all of the pantries and the freezers, I have them in my little kitchen list. So everything's written down, what I have tallied out, so that I can then make the weekly menus. And I usually do it Monday through Sunday. I don't know if you can see because of the light. Let me see. There we go. This is the 1st through the 7th. And how I like to do it. Now, I'm going to have this downloadable link down below somehow. I don't know how I'm going to get it down there, but it will be down there. If you want to download it and print it out and use it. But it's a breakfast, lunch, and dinner meal prep. And what I like to do is, one, I always write on the side, I like to have a Mexican meal, an Asian. We always do a pizza night. And we always do seafood on Sundays. So it's our after church kind of dinner. So write those down and then just kind of pair them off. I usually do Taco Tuesday only because it's cute and you get to say it. But what I start with is I start with the meat, the protein. And then kind of work my way around there. We get a full entree kind of layout. And then I go back and fill in appetizers if we have stuff that we're over the top stocked on, like pickles. Or like, I'm trying to think of other ones. If I have a ton of puff pastry, then I'll make some of those. And I always like to stock up on appetizers anyways, our jalapenos, our potato skins, our eggplant fries, that kind of stuff, and have them on the ready to add to a meal. And then I kind of leave myself open for lunches for leftovers. Now, not many of our ones this week will have leftovers because it's pretty single serve. And then I've been trying now to do, especially since it's the winter, to do a soup night because we have a ton. I think there's like 24 quarts of soup that are canned. And that does 2 meals. So if it's 2 people doing it, you can share it, or you could have your other one for lunch the next day, which is what we normally do. So that's kind of how I detail out it. I'm really excited to try different meals and pull out my cookbooks this January and February during this challenge. Now listen, I am going to be posting the pictures of all of the meals on the Instagram. And then of course, next week's video will be New Year's Eve until the 7th. Yes, New Year's Eve until the 7th of January meals. Monday through Sunday is what I'll do in the meals. And then we can sit down and talk about what I did that week and how it worked out. And again, I'm so excited to be joining in on this challenge. I wasn't able to do it last year. And I have seen in the comments that I know for sure that my friend Andale over at Andale Homestead is going to try and join in. And Alicia has said that she has been prepping to join in as well. So that's exciting. So y'all, thank you so much for tuning into this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you're liking and subscribing and pressing that bell icon. You know the drill. It's a new year, but same stuff that I always say. Follow me on social media. All of the things are here. Ormsby Farms. And until next video, y'all be blessed.
I'm coming home.